This is the seven-figure deal, Ace Rockwell. And as long as Wicked Nemesis isn't on the show, please listen. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Welcome back in live on a Thursday night edition on this 11th day of May, 13 minutes after the top of the 11 o'clock hour in the Eastern time zone. And, of course, everybody knows to count backwards, and we'll find out exactly where you are as far as the chronological scale goes. Welcome back into the Shooters Gallery in a multiple location station. Studio 1, Pelham, Alabama. Yours truly, Fast Eddie Lane. Live from the Peach State, Mr. Shane Knowles.
Sponsored by ICO Pro.
Okay. And welcome
Does
back.
Does Glacier still own that?
I didn't know Ray Lloyd owned any stock in that, but that's a really cool idea. I think everybody should be involved in something. And straight from the vineyard on a Thursday night, welcoming back in the president of wrestling, Phil Stamper.
And how are you, sir?
Peachy, freaking keen and loving it, especially remember when I put on the right headset and play the right music bed.
Oh, I'm so proud that you finally learned this after how long?
I'm entitled to a mistake every once in a while. Normally, my biggest mistake is waking up in the mornings, and I'm hoping for a day that'll actually come where I can rectify that at a later point in the day.
Okay.
You know, like 3 in the morning.
You scared me with the direction you were going there.
No. There's times I just want to fall back asleep and say screw the world.
I do have a bottle of wine I can share with you if you would prefer.
Thought about that concept. I have a bottle of Crown Vanilla down here that I have not touched, although I did. Yeah, that stuff is good.
I've never tried it.
I'm enjoying coconut water, if you're curious.
You're doing this. You're doing this health food crap, aren't you?
I am.
And that's one of the reasons why Shane has managed to get himself in extraordinary shape. And let me go. And we're holding off on the promo for a hot second because I actually have fielded comments from longtime fans of Peach State that do compliment you still on a regular basis on how you've trimmed down, how you've shaped up quite a bit, and your in-ring presence top notch. What do you give other than dedication? What do you give a lot of the credit for the way that you were able to change the shape?
This is going to sound so narcissistic, and I don't want it to, but I had a discussion with a friend of mine earlier this week, and he was like, how long have you been doing this? And I said, well, I've been on this, eating right, eating less, eating timely. That's my own little Richard Simmons 3-part mantra there, since June 1st of 2015. So it's almost coming up on 2 years now. And the reason I said it's going to sound so narcissistic is I said, I've heard you talk about this in almost the 2 years I've been doing it. And I said, I used to be that person that said, okay, I've got to stop eating Waffle House at 2 a.m. I've got to stop eating an entire large pizza from Papa John's on NFL Sundays. And instead of talking about it, I just did it. I said, I don't want that to sound cocky, but I said, this had to be one of those days where you woke up and said, I'm going to do this, with actions, not with words. And then one day became 1 week, a week became a month became 6 months, a year, and now almost 2 years. And it's amazing to me. In those 2 years, I've dropped 77 pounds and dropped the body fat by like 29% in those 2 years. And I still have my cheat days because I'm not going to be miserable. But I have cheat days, not cheat every day and cheat every week. So,
actually, for me, it's cheat every hour, but what the hell? No, it seems like I'd made a promise to myself that I was actually going to try to drop some weight and drop some body fat, and every time I do, something happens, whether it be me taking a bad fall and re-injuring an old shoulder or re-aggravating an old shoulder injury, I'll say it that way.
No, it's an old shoulder.
There you go. Yeah, it's damn right it's an old shoulder. Or
he's in heel mode already.
Unless you're doing squats while you're doing karaoke. I'm just saying.
There you go. That'd be the consummate of working on breath control.
Full contact karaoke.
And then from there, about 3 Saturdays ago, I'd had a small mishap down at storage when I was working on my van, and I was trying to, and actually successfully did manage to avoid being stung by a couple of hornets, but at the same time, banged up my leg, banged up my arm a little bit, and screwed up my left foot. Pinky toe jammed, fourth toe minor fracture, third and second toe heavy bruising. Prince would have been happy with the color purple that my toes were.
All I hear is complain, complain, complain.
No, I don't make excuses. I will offer reasons, however. The excuse would be if I sat back and said, yeah, I didn't want to go work out. I wanted pizza. That's an excuse. Me not being able to walk properly is a reason. So, yeah. And a lot of people found that out this past Saturday in Carrollton. I'll say that. If everybody noticed that, that's why I was walking funny on the way down to the ring a couple of times during the finals moments of this past Saturday night at the VFW Fairgrounds, which I'm still pissed I didn't get to ride the Ferris wheel. That's just me, though. And for those who did make it out this past Saturday, thank you so much. Great crowd in attendance, and the people were, just like ready.
Somebody on Facebook Live just went, pizza with pineapples.
Ooh, hell
I'm right
yeah.
there with him.
Canadian. Now, Papa John's used to be the best about this. Canadian bacon and pineapple. I'm good with that any day of the week.
Chicken and pineapple. I'm good. I like that.
Chicken and pineapple's good as well. But the thing about it is, I'm also weird about where I order my pizzas from nowadays, too. And I would actually rather them be on flatbread rather than pizza dough. I'd rather make my own. That's just me. I like to make my own marinara sauce. However, let's come back to it. Coming out of the events of this past Saturday in Carrollton, a whole lot of chaos going on. Because the anniversary show, right around the corner. Survival Games. We made the announcement this past Saturday that in an unprecedented move, Survival Games...
What was that word again?
Unprecedented. Why? Something
So
wrong
much
with...
better.
Huh?
I heard unprecedented, and I'm like, no, it's not president. I'm the president.
Yeah, if you ain't careful, you're going to get unprecedented as well. I've heard of some of your antics going on, but we're going to come to that in a minute. But in an unprecedented move, Survival Games will not just be 2 teams. It will be 3 teams strong. And yeah, I got a little bit of criticism coming out of last Saturday when I fired Chris Spectra. Rules are rules. And if you don't follow them, there's got to be a price to pay. Anarchy is one thing. Respect is another. I would rather have people respect the situation they're in than to think that they're bigger than the situation that they're in. And some people could take this to heart. And no, I'm not going round and round on that one. I'll leave that alone right there. They know who I'm talking about. In May 20th, right around the corner, a week from Saturday, in the main event, triple threat match for the Heritage title. You know, Shane, you made a great point when you were talking about people not getting rematches. That's why I decided to jump on that concept the way that I did. Tommy Too Much will be defending the Heritage Championship against AJ Steele and P-Dog. Let me get your early analysis on this one. I know we're going to go a lot more in detail next Thursday night on Shooter's Gallery, but just give me the Cliff Notes version of how you look at this match.
Well, and how it's laid out, and we'll delve more into it. All 3, well, now there's 4 titles with a ladies champion, a women's champion now being crowned this past Saturday, but the 3 men's titles, I guess I will say going forward, all defended in triple threat matches. That is the first time ever. Hard for me to believe that in almost 9 years that's never happened. 3 triple threats for the belts. I look at this dynamic when I see the poster. You know, Tommy Too Much and AJ Steele, no strangers to each other. A feud that spanned from October 2015 through December 2016. And I really hate to put a timetable on it because I don't think it's ever truly over. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys. But you see P-Dog thrown in here. Card, but P-Dog is a former PWA Heritage Champion who dropped the belt January 21st of this year. So certainly while Tommy and AJ look to mix it up again, there's another dynamic in here, and it's P-Dog, a guy that never got his Heritage title rematch, and he's waiting actually 1 day short of 4 months to the day to get it. So my early analysis would be I wouldn't sleep on P-Dog Mike Posey.
Now, I was a little bit trepidatious looking at the tag team title situation. Now, I will take nothing away from Logan Creed and Kyle Matthews, the Extinction Level event, and their technical wrestling nightmare. But I also have to sit back and wonder what's going through the mind of the Beautiful Bald Besties, as they are one of the teams that will be challenging alongside of a tandem that is new without being brand new. I've never seen them team up before. And that would be the combination of Sal Rinauro and the last hero, Ace Haven. Shane, your early thoughts?
Well, and much like P-Dog, I looked at this. Logan Creed and Kyle Matthews of the Kingsmen won the tag team titles from the Beautiful Bald Besties, Marvelous Michael Stevens and the Encore Zach Edwards, back in February 18th. March 18th. I'll get it right. Sorry. And then now you see two very well-established singles competitors in Ace Haven and Sal Rinauro teaming up for the first time that have an opportunity at Tag Team Gold. I'm excited about the way you laid this out with, because there's some factions going on. Everyone seems to think they have a rightful claim and a stake to these titles. The only way to do it is to allow them all to mix it up, whether it be P-Dog, who has a rematch that he never got. AJ, I think, would certainly be a top contender, number one contender in anyone's mind, and Tommy Too Much is the champion. Looking at it now, Logan Creed, Kyle Matthews, the champions, Besties, the former champions, and then you see Sal Rinauro and Ace Haven, who may feel they've done all they can do in singles at the singles run and team up and go for tag team gold. So a triple threat tag team, interesting dynamic.
And for the No Limits title, which I'm going to throw this one out there. You made a reference to the factor of the three men's titles. Has a woman ever challenged for the No Limits title?
Not to my knowledge.
That would be a very unique concept, considering, remember, no disqualifications, no time limits, no weight limits. Who said there can't be a no gender limit?
Exactly.
And no, that doesn't mean Caitlyn Jenner would be able to challenge for the belt. Okay, come on. Quit looking at your speakers, folks.
Did you not see me? I just literally hit myself in the head when you said that. Took my hand to my face.
You face palmed yourself.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine how many people are rolling their eyes right now on your Facebook Live run.
Oh, I took the palm from my coconut water and placed it on my forehead.
There you go. For the No Limits title, the champion, O'Hagan, being challenged by the top-tier talent, Drew Adler. And we've still yet to figure out which of the nicknames you're going with, Shane Knowles.
Well, obviously, because I'm involved in this match, I'll speak on it, hopefully not at great length, a little bit different analysis here. O'Hagan, I've seen him at GCW over the course of the last couple of years. Now he is a member of the Kingsmen. He is the No Limits champion. He acquired that belt in record time, his first night in with the promotion. I've wrestled Drew Adler in a six-man tag last month, as well as was involved in last year's Survival Games against Drew Adler. So each and every time I feel like a broken record when I come on this program and say that. But if you get a chance, go back and look at Bulletproof Wrestling, the one where Cody Rhodes debuted back on April, I'll get it right, April the 30th, or 29th. I'm sorry, dates escape me. But Drew Adler's match that night, I felt could go with anyone in the Southeast. And I look at O'Hagan. Drew Adler's 6'4". I'm 6'1". O'Hagan's about 5'7", 5'8". But he's crafty. I mean, I'm not talking about his height as a detriment to him, but again, taking myself out of the equation here, I think this may be the most unique of the three matches, and it's not putting myself over, but I look at it as, this isn't P-Dog, this isn't AJ Steele, this isn't Tommy Too Much. All three of them have held the Heritage title. These are some different mixes into the No Limits division. I mean, O'Hagan, this will be only his second title defense of that belt, and he gets myself and Drew Adler. So again, looking at this, the groups that will be in Survival Games are all split up into triple threat matches. I got to think if you're Sal Rinauro, Ace Haven, Logan Creed, Kyle Matthews, and the Besties, you've got an ally. For those of us in the No Limits and the Heritage title matches, it's every man for himself.
The only thing that really worries me at this particular point in time, Amy Haven does not worry me, because I know that Amy will not voluntarily jump in to interfere. She will stand by and defend herself if needed, and she will react in a, traditional manner if something else occurs. I still have a problem with Bill Behrens and Tristan Michaels. Here to with, of course, everybody knows that I refer to them as Yipper and Skipper.
Skipper the little buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Tristan makes a great Gilligan. I'm sorry, that just hit me.
That should be a stipulation on his and Terry's match at the anniversary show. If Terry wins, Tristan dresses like Gilligan and referees a match. I want this. I will petition the board of directors. I don't care if it's the last thing I ever do. I will petition the board of directors for this. And there's a lot.
Just sit right back and you watch a match with two strong men. Okay.
Also,
that started to go to a place that just I don't even want to comment on.
Trust me, you could go there and we'd probably be fine in most communities. But from there, also, there's a lot more going on. We're going to cover the entire show a lot more in depth next Thursday night right here on the Shooters Gallery. But there is going to be one other little addition in particular. In addition to the first defense of the brand new and first ever Peach State Wrestling Alliance Women's Champion, Crystal Rose, we also have a very special appearance from he's first ballot on anybody's Hall of Fame tag team or singles, especially one of the newest inductees to the WWE Hall of Fame, one half of the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, will be in Carrollton Saturday night, May 20th. Shane, your thoughts?
Excited to have Ricky on the card. Things unfortunately didn't work out with Robert Gibson. We would have loved to have had, of course, the Rock and Roll Express together as the unit. But it was funny at Pro South Wrestling in Piedmont. I'm just going to pull back the curtain a little bit for those that are listening from that area. A lot of the wrestlers asked me about Ricky Morton. I said, look, I'm not telling you to buy a ticket. Be my guest. Tell me you're coming. I'll have a ticket for you. If you want to learn how to sell, watch Ricky Morton. And I know that's not a novel concept. Everybody in the business has said that for years. But I can't think of a better babyface selling than Ricky Morton. Even now, when I watch him at the age of 57 or 58, whether it be singles or tag, his psychology is off the charts. So, and I can't think of many people that are better with fan interaction with the people than Ricky Morton. People adore this guy. I mean, they love him, and I think it's really cool. A lot of people say long overdue for the Hall of Fame. I mean, I look at it kind of like baseball. It really doesn't matter if you're first ballot, if it took you 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. If you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer, and that's a pretty cool deal coming to Carrollton for Peach State. Ricky, his last appearance in Peach State was November of 2012, so been almost 5 years since he's been in our neck of the woods, and going to be tickled to have him in action, not just signing autographs or pictures. He will be wrestling that night against AC Mack out of the school WWA 4, and I've seen AC. Of course, he's wrestled at Peach State once already, but I've seen him up in Cornelia, Georgia for NCW, where he is the light heavyweight champion. This kid, he's got a very bright future ahead of him.
Doors going to open at 7 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, May 20th. Bell time is going to be 8 o'clock p.m. And Shane, what are ticket prices looking like?
Ticket prices, all ages front row ringside are $12. All ages stage seats, $11. General admission seating is $10 for adults. Children ages 7 through 15 are $6. Small children ages 6 and under get in free with an adults paid general admission. You can go to PeachStateWrestlingAlliance.com and order tickets directly via a debit or credit card. You can email us at pwafanbase@yahoo.com or reach us 770-328-1162 to order tickets directly. You can also check out, while I'm going for it here, the shameless plug train is on. Peach State Wrestling Alliance is on Instagram as well as at The Real PWA on Twitter.
Like I said, we got a lot more to cover for the May 20th live event. We'll have a lot more next Thursday. But some people might have a problem getting to Thursday. There is such a thing in this world as ambition. Marilyn Monroe had blonde ambition, depending on exactly how long the hair color stayed in. But there is such a thing as being a little overly ambitious, and far be it from me to sit back and criticize, and I'll offer critique, but I won't criticize one of my broadcast colleagues. But Phil, I have to ask this question.
Uh-oh.
I really do. How much is too much when it comes to one company? Because I understand in recent days, you have basically said you will accept nothing short of the potential for total control of GSW.
Well, that's because it needs somebody to be in control. You can't just exist in a world of chaos. You have to make some order out of it.
Okay. Now, as far as it goes, I know that there is a live event this Saturday, May 13th, at the GSW Arena, 1 Maxon Drive, Old Forge, Pennsylvania. Doors are going to open at 6:30 p.m. Show starts at 7 p.m.
Okay,
now,
first, breathe. Take a breath.
Okay.
Slow down when you read.
Nah.
Because I know that's a little bit challenged for, somebody in the Alabama public school system. So just breathe, and it will be okay.
So, you've got a situation coming up this weekend where the United Stamper Alliance, in the middle of the main event for GSW's Civil War 5-on-5 matchup. And for those who do not know, let everybody know the people that you are representing who will be carrying the load in this match.
Well, of course, the United Stamper Alliance has the pinnacle, the very cream of the crop of individuals at Grand Slam Wrestling. And included inside of who will be in representing the United Stamper Alliance this weekend will be Kevin the Man Graham, Sean Silence, the HWA and GSW Cruiserweight Champion Trajan Horn, and the Grand Slam Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Impeccables, otherwise known as Kit Rath and Keita Murray.
And they will be taking on, I guess you would affectionately call them Team GSW, would you not?
Sure, if the championship committee likes it, we'll call them Team GSW. Because, really, I represent GSW. I have been the general manager now for 2 years. I am the president of wrestling, and they want to challenge every single decision I make. So if they want to have some kind of ragtag hodgepodge collection of people that they think can challenge me for the opportunity to fully run Grand Slam Wrestling, fine, let them pull together some, some folk.
Wait. Hold on here. Shift gears, neutral for a second. How can you refer to individuals such as Brute Van Slyke, Stevie Shields, the Cash Masters, Mike Vaughn, Ragtag? You're trying to put them in the same realm as the Battlestar Galactica cast, and where they were running from the Cylon Empire? You know something? These people know how to turn around and fight, and
let's be clear about something. The United Stamper Alliance is just that. We are a team. We are a unit. We are allied together. These people have been tossed into something that they don't know what to expect. They are forming chaos and thinking they can throw it into order and just go willy-nilly to the wind. They don't have a unified front. Brute Van Slyke can't stand anybody, and he has his eyes on Mike Vaughn's championship. Stevie Shields, who used to have both the heavyweight and the adrenaline championship before, of course, there has to be a little bit going on in his mind about, maybe there's an opportunity for me. Meanwhile, the Cash Masters only want the tag titles from the Impeccables, so they're not really focused on forming an alliance with Vaughn, Brute Van Slyke, and Stevie Shields. So they have no sense of coming together, no sense of unity, and they're coming inside of a steel cage in this 5-on-5 encounter thinking that they have an opportunity.
Well, what all is on the line this Saturday night at Old Forge?
First, the team that wins walks away with all of the championships. So that means that after Saturday, Kevin the Man Graham will be the GSW Heavyweight Champion. Sean Silence will be the GSW Adrenaline Champion. Trajan Horn will retain his HWA and GSW Cruiserweight Championship, and the Impeccables will retain the GSW Tag Team Championships. Also, there will be no more Grand Slam Wrestling Championship Committee. I am the general manager. I am the president of wrestling. I will be the lone authority figure. No one will be able to challenge what I say must happen.
How big is this cage going to be that's going to be encompassing the ring?
It is going to be gigantic. It is so large, it is not just encompassing the ring, but also the ringside area. It is in itself its own force to be reckoned with. It's going to be the 11th person in the ring.
Speaking of 11th person, let's go in this direction. For those who may have forgotten, and Phil, you and I, we've met, and I've followed some of your antics, whether it be in ring or in a managerial capacity.
Antics?
Yes, antics. I will use that word very loosely right now. I know that you are still on the recovery trail and guarding your neck very closely. I'm just going to ask the question. And for everybody who is watching through Phil's Facebook live feed right now, I want you to answer this question. Can Phil Stamper be trusted this Saturday night?
You know, it's kind of a thing. It's the tagline, hashtag trust in Phil. Of course, people can trust me. Why wouldn't they be able to trust me? People buy my wristband and says trust in Phil. People in my chat are saying trust in Phil, president of wrestling. They know who to turn to. Yes, I got a yes.
From who? And how much did it cost you?
5 seconds. That's all it cost me. Daniel Owens, Nick Dengler, they're both saying yes. Phil is the king. No, I'm not the king. I'm the president. There's a whole subtle difference there.
Yeah.
Trust in Phil. Hey, people know who to turn to.
No.
When it comes to the neck, I know how to protect myself. I've not only been an in-ring competitor. I'm a green belt in judo, blue belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I can handle myself.
So you're a one-man Oriental Rainbow Coalition.
I'm not sure how to respond to that. I'm going to let you believe whatever you want in your brain.
And from that vantage point, yes, we know you've had a wildly successful campaign, Hash Brown Trust in Phil, but I think at the end of the night...
You just say Hash Brown. No, back this up. You just said Hash Brown.
Yes, I
Trust
did.
in Phil. Hashtag Trust in Phil. Hash Brown.
Yes, I said that for a reason.
That hungry?
No, I said that for a reason. Because I think at the end of the night, if you're not careful, you may end up scattered, smothered, and covered.
I know how to protect myself. And Chio Frost is joining me in my Facebook live chat. Chio Frost will also be there at ringside. Rebecca Durline will be there at ringside. Those two have my back.
What, are you going to have the Mormon Tabernacle Choir come in next?
They owe me a favor.
Oh, amazing grace. In addition to this 5-on-5 civil war, what else we got going on this Saturday? And I will trust you to be fair and unbiased.
There's a lot of action. We actually have things on that are going to be coming that have not been fully announced yet. We're adding to it all the time. We have a scramble match that will be featured. We have stars from Chikara that will be on hand. We have Commander Effects versus Shane Malice. This is Shane's second match here at Grand Slam Wrestling. He had a tremendous debut on our last event. Him against Commander Effects. Commander Effects is also not known for being the most mentally stable, and Malice might have a little bit of an uphill climb, but he showed us a lot at this last event, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these two do when they clash this Saturday.
Now, is this going to be broadcast live, iPay-per-view, simulcast, DVD taping, VOD?
It will be available on Facebook Live on Powerbomb TV. Check it out. Powerbomb TV itself is actually going to be using the GSW Arena on June 11th for a very special event that they are bringing in. But make sure that you follow us. You can follow all of our social media activity that will be happening out of Grand Slam this weekend, following hashtag GSW Live. And yes, you can watch them on Facebook.com/PowerbombTV.
And remember, that is this Saturday night, May 13th, at the GSW Arena, 1 Maxon Drive, Old Forge, Pennsylvania. Doors open 6:30. Show starts at 7. Phil, how much are tickets?
Tickets are $10, and kids 12 and under are free with adult supervision. We're not your babysitter.
In or out of character, that's still funny, and I like that line. Tell you what.
And from experience, because I will say one of the biggest crowds I've ever been in front of was 1,800 people at the ECW Arena for Pro Wrestling Press, Pro Wrestling Unplugged did a joint event. 1,800 people came, but I think 500 of them were children whose parents were like, "It's just after Christmas and I can't stand you anymore. Go inside this building and I'll pick you up in 3 hours." Never again. Never again. So with adult supervision.
Okay. This is one that I will do the character shift on. Parents, if you bring kids and drop them off, I don't care if you bought front row. I don't care if you bought general admission. I don't care if you paid to have them sit on the roof. We will open up a candy factory right next door to the show, and we will turn your kids into Oompa Loompa slave labor. That almost came out right. Damn it. I hate it when that happens. That's another thing we're going to talk about off air too, guys. In all seriousness, it's not the Crown Vanilla. It's something else. But, and as the weeks progress, of course, we've got some other live events that we're going to be bringing up. I know that we've got a lot of things going on this weekend, but we really wanted to hit the spotlight on Saturday, May 20th, and of course this Saturday night in Old Forge, Pennsylvania with GSW. Folks, tell you what, before we go to the top, before we take that break, I want to go ahead and shift. And for those of you, Phil, do you still have your Facebook Live up?
Yes, I do.
Do you dare ask everybody to play along in a possible trivia challenge?
They've been following along so far. So, guys, on Facebook Live, you've been following. Would you like to participate in a trivia challenge?
Shane,
let's see what they say as they formulate it together.
Can that many people agree on one answer? Shane, do you have a bonus round question ready to go?
I have 3.
Okay. What are the topics? Phil, you decide.
Well, Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Shane, topics, Phil, decide.
I was about to say, I'm going to
are-
pick the topics and Shane's going to magically have these trivia questions. That's amazing.
Shut up.
I would love to do that, abracadabra.
Poof.
Well, trivia topics for us are WrestleMania, song titles, on this day in movie history.
And the decision is?
I'm going to do... well, since we have Facebook Live, I was going to go the movie direction. I will not do that to the people following on Facebook Live who are coming to learn about Beyond Ringside. So therefore, let's do WrestleMania.
This is a bizarre trivia question that probably interests only me. But with the Undertaker streak being broken a couple years back and now having 2 losses in the WrestleMania column, what wrestler has the longest streak of unbeaten at WrestleMania at 4-0? He is no longer a member of the company.
That actually should be an incredibly obvious answer. And I have a feeling that if I enunciate my response, I'm going to miss it wildly. Phil?
Wait a minute. I think I lost the question there. So say that again. Say it's who has the longest undefeated streak in WrestleMania history?
No.
And it's 4-0?
The longest current
It's
undefeated
with the Undertaker
streak.
now having 2 in the loss column, what wrestler is now has the longest active undefeated WrestleMania streak at 4-0? However, this wrestler is no longer an active member of the company.
So people in the chat are saying, I got an Edge. I got Stone Cold or Hogan, and I don't know, that's not correct. I know that one.
No, because Stone Cold did the honors for The Rock on The Rock's last match.
I got another Edge. I got a CM Punk. That is a really good question. Who is no longer with the company?
Even though
And all puns aside, it truly is a trivial answer here. So.
it's that rules out Edge, even though that's the one I was going to go for. When he puts the emphasis on the word trivial, it could be the Brooklyn Brawler.
Right. I'm deeply concerned by that. And you know what? Because I just did something. So somebody said Phil Stamper, and I pointed at myself RVD style. I'm going to say RVD.
You are correct. Rob Van Dam at 4-0.
There you go. Score.
And none of you got it. It was sorry.
Hashtag trust in Phil.
See? There's a reason for the hashtag.
There's a promo. We're done with the promo. We're having fun now.
Besides
it's always a
Head
promo. You don't
from Al
understand.
Snow,
It's a life hashtag.
Hash brown.
Besides Head from Al Snow, what does everybody want on the next category? Song titles or On This Day in Movie History?
I'll go song titles.
And the Facebook Live agrees with you.
Song titles. What song is actually a pre-Civil War folk song, but became a huge arena hit in the decade of the 1990s when it was covered by a Swedish band?
A Swedish band?
This song is a pre-Civil War folk song. It became a huge arena hit in the decade of the 1990s when covered by a Swedish band.
Battle of New Orleans.
Incorrect.
Okay. Phil?
Nobody in chat is helping me on this one because somebody wrote back Michael Cole.
I have one more guess. Before we go to the chat room, I have one more guess.
Okay.
When Johnny Comes Marching Home Again.
Also incorrect.
Well, that sucks.
Unfortunately, the only thing that comes to my mind is like Whiskey in a Jar.
Thin Lizzy. Metallica.
Incorrect.
See, I didn't think...
This one's going to cause many fist pounding when I give the answer on this one.
Sing Sound of Silence. Vince McMahon doing Stand Back.
If that was covered by a Swedish band, I want to hear it.
Yeah,
Right.
really.
I think the only Swedish music, anything I can think of right now is What Did the Fuck Say?
Oh, no. God, you didn't do that. If anybody...
Hey, come on. Seriously, none of us, we're striking out horribly here.
Go for it, Shane. Do the honors, please.
The pre-Civil War folk song is Cotton Eye Joe,
Shoot
covered by
me.
Rednecks with an X in the mid-90s.
They were not... They were Swedish?
Mm-hmm.
I'm declaring war on Switzerland.
Jonathan wants us to sing it, and I can't think of the words. All I can think of is Cotton Eye Joe. A long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Some Cotton Eye Joe.
You realize people can stream and record your Facebook chats? Therefore, you will probably hear this later in life.
With the amount of things that are online from me right now, it's going to haunt me at some point.
Of course. And before we take the break, final category.
On this day in movie history, May 11th, 1997, what film was released that was described as an odd mix of lowbrow and sophisticated humor? It was not a big hit in theaters, but became such a big hit on home video and cable TV that 2 sequels were released, with the franchise grossing over $360 million.
Phil, take first shot.
Shoot. On May 11th, this day.
May 11th, 1997, what film was released that was described as an odd mix of lowbrow and sophisticated humor? It did not do well in theaters, but because it did so well on cable television and home video rentals, 2 sequels were released, with the franchise grossing over $360 million.
I know this is not the right answer, but somebody just said Toy Story. Yeah, I'm just shaking my head. Ernest Scared Stupid. That's a fun mighty. I've gotten 2 Mighty Ducks.
Ernest Goes to Hell.
Ernest goes to.
It's so funny you bring him up because I did a trivia question. Whose death in the year 2000 caused headlines across the country? Hey, Vern, a guy died.
Mr. Jim Varney. Yeah. Actually, I knew him very well.
I don't. Oh,
Can I
lose you guys?
Can I take a crack at this one?
Okay.
I wanted to say The Naked Gun.
No, that came out later. I don't want to say. Clue was later. Murder by Death was later. Lowbrow and what was it?
Lowbrow and Sophisticated Humor.
Lowbrow and
May of 1997, and then 2 sequels were released that did mega box office.
Well, it wasn't The Crying Game.
I thought Airplane for a second, but I don't think it had a second sequel.
No, they only had Airplane 1, Airplane 2.
Right.
Unlike what should have been done with Smokey and the Bandit, 1 and 2, 3 should have never been made. I haven't made it through the first 10 minutes of that movie yet without throwing up violently.
Eddie, do you have a guess? And I'm right there with you on Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, I know. I was listening to a radio talk show host last night while I was on the way home, and he made a comment about the Germans and or something being germane to the situation. And in the back of my head, I'm hearing Jackie Gleason go, "What the hell do the Germans got to do with this?" God, love you, Jackie Gleason. I miss you.
So I know Star Wars came out later, but not much later. Smokey the Bandit came out that year too.
No, you're going back
It's
to the
actually
70s.
funny
He's on 1997, not 77.
Oh, I thought you said 77.
No, 1997, 20 years ago today. Yeah, what film released?
So other guests in the chat have Rush Hour, The Mask, Powers, Star
what's
Wars
Powers?
Best Porn Parody.
Monday Night.
What is Powers?
I think Austin Powers is what they meant.
They are correct. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Austin Powers.
We have a winner in the chat room. All right, or on the Facebook Live. There you go.
Lowbrow and Sophisticated Humor. And what cracked me up when you mentioned Star Wars was in the marketing for the second film, Austin Powers 2, The Spy Who Shagged Me. That was right when The Phantom Menace came out. And I remember the promotional ad said, if you must see one film this summer, see Star Wars. If you see 2 films, see Star Wars and Austin Powers.
Yeah, I remember that. And as we're on the way to the top of the hour break, Shane, do me a favor, let everybody know who brings us the trivia questions every week on Shooter's Gallery.
That would be moi, Shane Knowles. We have useless trivia on Mondays down at, I had a brain freeze there, down at Loco Mex. Must have had one too many on Taco Tuesday this week. Loco Mex on Mondays at 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 Eastern. Tuesdays, also at Loco Mex in Jacksonville, Alabama, same location. 1 hour later, 8 o'clock Central Time for Taco Tuesday. Then Wednesdays, wrapping up the trivia week, Wednesdays at 7 o'clock at Loco's Cantinas down in Piedmont, Alabama. The questions you get here on Beyond Ringside Shooter's Gallery, those are bonus round questions. I promise you not all of them are nail biters and brain busters like that, but there are 20 questions every week. A variety of topics, everything from geography, pop culture, presidential slogans, cars, varieties, television commercials, movies, sports, porn. That's actually creeped up in there every now and then. Food, state facts, you name it.
Notice he did wait until after he said porn to say food, kids. We must keep our priorities straight here. It's porn, then food, any day of the week. Now, I'm going to go ahead and
I'm
ask...
almost afraid with the few times that I do delve into a porn question when people ask, where do you come up with those questions on research? And I'm like, please don't ask that on the sex questions.
Yeah.
Phil, I know you're under time constraints. We're about to head into hour number 3, technically speaking. Are you able to stick around a little bit longer, or do you need to go ahead and head for your personal radio ranch?
No, I'm going to have to head to for my own personal radio ranch. So let me just do some quick plugs if you don't mind.
There you go. That's what I was about to do.
So make sure you check out Grand Slam Wrestling, facebook.com/Grand Slam Wrestling PA. on Twitter and Instagram at GS Wrestling. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at PS Phenom. That's PSPHENOM. And you can follow Grand Slam Wrestling this weekend on Saturday evening on Powerbomb TV on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Powerbomb TV. For free, you can watch on Facebook Live. Please make sure you watch this event. It's going to be phenomenal. The construction of the cage has begun. 5-on-5 Civil War cage match to top off the night. And I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't also plug the other company that sometimes pays me. Make sure you check out, Combat Zone Wrestling also has an event this weekend.
I knew that was coming. And since we do have a different audience tuning in right now, I want to let everybody know, if you don't already know, BeyondRingside.com, the home for the station. ProWrestlingRadio.net, our sister station. We simulcast through the two of those. If you're on Amazon, Android, or BlackBerry mobile devices, we do have an app that you can download. We simulcast live through there, as well as pre-recorded or, replayed programming all the way through the week. From that vantage point, we're also on Ustream, but of course, definitely check it. And if you're on, for Apple users, check out the TuneIn radio app. You can find Beyond Ringside's channel on there as well. At Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live, and that's all the cheap plugs I'm going to do for the company. At Shane Knowles on Twitter, at Fast Eddie Lane on Twitter, and at Beyond Ringside on Twitter. Guess what? I lied about the plugs. Folks, hour 2 in the books. We are going to come back in round number 3 for those of you listening live and on replay. And I'm not sure if hour 2 is going to make YouTube. I don't know how much free time, honestly, I'm going to have to work on slides. I'm just being very brutally honest. Hang tight. The Shooters Gallery rolls on Beyond Ringside Sports Radio and ProWrestlingRadio.net.